Hi guys, today I'm going to do a review of the Manila Ocean Park in the Philippines. And I dated a college girl there for a year back in 2016. So that's what we did for one of our dates. We did a double date. We took her and then her sister and brother-in-law came along with us. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Her and her family, they lived in Las Piñas, which is in Laguna province. It's just outside of Manila. It's not very far away. All those cities where you can't tell where one ends and where one begins. Yeah, as for the pricing, when we showed up at the gate there, it was we paid $13. They had three different packages that we could choose from. And actually, how we ended up getting there from where she was, we actually took like a kind of a coach bus and had all vinyl seats on it. It looked like almost like a Greyhound and everything. And we took that there, and I remember getting off there. It was the first time ever being in like downtown Manila, and they had all these carriages with these horses, and they were miniature horses. Like here in the U.S., when we think of our miniature horses or ponies, they're usually pretty darn fat. They got a big old belly, but theirs were actually they actually looked like a full size horse, just a miniature version. They were all skinny, so that's kind of neat. And then they had the little whatever 2-gallon bucket on the pail on the back end of it or whatever that must have been to scoop up the poop and put it there or whatever. But yeah, it's kind of neat seeing that there. We never did go on that ride, but yeah, we walked up to the Manila Ocean Park, and we chose one of those packages, and like I said, it was $13 a person. And I just paid for it for all of us. I think we chose like the Winter Wonderland one because they actually ended up having penguins at that time when we went there, which you would have never thought. And the neat thing when we saw those penguins, like growing up seeing penguins on cartoons and everything when we were a kid, they look so huge or whatever. They're only like 8 inches tall. They're tiny, you guys. So yeah, we walk in there, and they had a gift shop there, and see, what did I buy for all the kids? Oh, yeah, they had tons of vendors there, and her niece is there. Yeah, she's got 2 nephews and a niece. So they were 7, 5, and 2. So I wanted to get them all a gift or whatever, and they had all these masks like you would get from Mexico. When my parents used to go when we were kids to Mexico, they would go to like Puerto Vallarta and Cancun and all that, and they would bring like Power Rangers masks back for us, but they were like the cheap Chinese versions. Well, that's what they had here. They had, I got him, one of the boys, the Hulk mask, and then the other one I got him Bumblebee, and they actually had like a button that you pressed on him, and they actually talked or whatever. And I was like, well, what does the little girl want? Because I was like, these little kids better than I do, And so she chose just one of those little, I don't know, like a hair thing that girls have, pull their hair back, and they had hearts on it or whatever. We ended up getting that for the youngest kid. And remember they had this like little pool or whatever where you could go and stick your feet in it, and all the fish would eat the dead skin cells off of your feet. And back in 2016, like I didn't know anything about that. Like nowadays you hear about all these fish massages and all kinds of stuff like that. But in 2016, like not that many people were going to the Philippines yet. So, and like even me, I was really afraid to go there because I never left the United States in my life other than crossing the border into Canada. So, so yeah, and even like in Manila there, I only ran into probably 2 foreigners my entire time there, and that was Manila. You would think you would see more, but no, I ran into an older white retired veteran there, and then I ran into a black guy, but he was from America too. So that was it. Then it was me. So yeah, we walked around and then they had this big aquarium down in the basement on each side, and I'd never seen a shark before in my life either, and I was amazed at how small sharks are. You watch Jaws all your life, you expect them to be the size of a darn bus. They were like 2.5, 3 feet long maybe, and they were just floating off of the floor just the two of them staring. That's all that they owned was two darn sharks. And the Manila Ocean Park is actually built on pylon piers in the ocean. It's actually sitting in the darn ocean. So you would think they would see a lot more wildlife like that. I expect to be like to see killer whales and stuff. No, they don't have killer whales there either. Like their budget must not be that great to have all the really cool wildlife. They did have the seal show. Yeah, they had a couple seals, and they did all kinds of cool tricks. They would stand on their front fin, and they would bounce the beach ball or whatever on their balance that on their nose. So they did a really good job with the seals, but that was the only cool animal that they had for the show. And yeah, we ended up having dinner in there at one of the restaurants. It was kind of like a food court or whatever, but yeah, it was pretty good. I'm trying to think of what else was in there. Yeah, so yeah, when they all dip their feet in the pool there for the fish to eat the dead skin off their cells or whatever. With me coming from the Midwest, I came up. This was on Valentine. Actually, this one wasn't on Valentine's Day, but it was during the winter when I did come to visit her this time. And I had thicker socks. Like I never even heard of people that do backpacking where you get moisture wicking socks. We've always bought cotton socks or whatever. And it seems like when you take off your sweaty socks, you can't put them back on because your feet will itch or whatever. So I was like, nope, that's okay. I'm gonna keep my socks and my shoes on. So I just kind of sat by the pool and visited with all of them for that. And we had this cool light show afterwards, you guys. Later on in the evening when it started to get dark, because we stayed there quite a few hours. I'd never seen like holographic light shows before, which nowadays you probably see them more, but honestly, I don't see them that much in the communities here either. Like you have to go overseas to Asia is where they have this stuff, but they had all the different color lights and they were making, they actually had images and everything like fish, shark swimming up and biting a fish and all kinds of stuff. It was really cool because it was something I'd never seen before back in 2016. And then I remember right at the end of the show, it just started pouring out there. And I don't think any of us had, none of us had an umbrella. And it's hot, we're all tough or whatever. But when we got in, I bought everybody a t-shirt because I was just like, we're gonna end up getting sick here. So it was like somebody just dumped a 5-gallon bucket on you because when it rains there, it rains hard. So, and then I remember walking onto there that night, and we kind of had to walk through like a little courtyard, little park or whatever. And my girlfriend's brother-in-law said, you guys all stay close together or whatever. It can be dangerous or whatever, and I didn't think much of it. Because you watch all these YouTube videos out there and all anybody ever talks about, is, oh yeah, I retired in the Philippines. I retired in Dumaguete, Philippines. And I never felt unsafe in my life. And the reality of it is there was one time that I did not feel safe in the Philippines. And it was right during broad daylight. We were in Las Piñas at the time. And I was so sick. And I couldn't exchange my money at the bank, my US dollars, for Filipino pesos. You had to have like a Philippines driver's license or something. So my girlfriend, I stood outside because like I said, I was going to puke my guts out. I got E. coli poisoning. And she went in there and there was this guy, I don't know how old he was, probably like 27 because I was like 31 at the time. And he was just staring at her through those glass doors there, like he was waiting for her to come out, and then he was going to follow around the corner and rob my girlfriend or whatever. And he obviously didn't know that I was with her or nothing. And I stepped in front of those doors, and I just stared at him. And you could tell he was just kind of getting uncomfortable. And I didn't give a shit. I was sick as a dog. And here's another thing about the size of the guys in the Philippines. Like, I'm 5'8", so here in the United States, I'm not considered that big of a guy. Kind of athletic built, but I won't be considered a big guy. In the Philippines, all the men, pretty much all of them that you run into, are 5'7" at the tallest. So I'm just a little bit taller and a little bit bigger than them, So yeah, he when I just started kept staring at him, then he walked off. He got the point there. So, um, and then like even the bank trucks or whatever that go around there, they all have a sawed off shotgun strapped to their chest and everything. And I just kind of walked like 10 feet around them just so I wouldn't make all those guys nervous and stuff like that. Put them in a situation or whatever. And every store there, pretty much, Mercury Drug, there it's a pharmacy. It's like on every corner. All those places have an armed security guard with a pistol. So it, like I said, I never actually witnessed any crimes, but you can tell that obviously the criminal element is there. That the store owners do have to protect their property, and you know, at first I was like, man, this has got to be bad. That's like that. Now I think about here in the United States of all the people doing all the smash and grabs at Walmart and all of our retailers shutting down in San Francisco and Portland and everything. I was like, kind of think that Walmart and all them are kind of idiots nowadays. That they don't actually have an armed security guard to apprehend these people and all that, and having two exits on Walmart, it's kind of ridiculous. You would think that you should actually be funneling all your customers through one door so you can stop them like Sam's Club does, you know. So, but yeah, that's my experience with Manila Ocean Park, because there really wasn't that much fun stuff to do in Manila. Honestly, I was really unhappy in Manila. Like the only reason I was there was for my girlfriend. You know, I would have probably never gone there on my own. So, all right, take care.